Repetition is my friend.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for sticking around post-credits. I'm Ben Staunton, and sitting in here with me is, under the marquee as well, is Corinne Kirk, who is our co-host. And then we also have Ritch Yarber and Mike Perzel. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And we are going to be talking about, Corinne, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, so we're talking about their experience with filmmaking in Ohio and Cleveland area. They also have a show that we show on our public channel here. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your show?
Yeah, the Midnight Movie. We've been on the air for 28 years here in the Cleveland area, and on the bat, Mike is one of our, not original hosts, but one of our hosts from way back, one of the secondary replacement hosts, and we finally got rid of him, and I moved up there, but show's been going. We like show old movies, we have skits, we have a lot of fun, and we hope you tune in and watch us. But and as you can see, you know, we have a long history of going back doing things together. The guys on the show, we're all pretty good friends, and we've done projects together, and that's how I first got involved with filmmaking, is because of Mike, and with my involvement on the TV show, the Midnight Movie. It all spurred all of these movies that I made, pretty much in a professional manner, I would say.
Very cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the movies you've made together?
Well, when I first started wanting to make, I always wanted to make movies, you know, since I was young, and never knew how to do it. So I used to work at the Giant Eagle warehouse, and me and my friends would talk during work about making films. So we said, you know what, we should make a film. So we started making the first one, they're laying here, is we started making Transylvania Police Monster Squad, which was ultra low budget film, you know, regular store-bought equipment, nothing fancy. It was kind of like a takeoff on Cops with classic monsters. It was a comedy. We shot all around Strongsville and Medina, different places. No permits, none of that stuff. As a matter of fact, one scene on there takes place downtown Strongsville during the Homecoming Festival. And I had the one actor run out and direct traffic right during rush hour. So, you know, that's called guerrilla filmmaking, I guess. But that's how I got started. But it wasn't until I got onto the Midnight Movie and I wanted to do something professional, you know, in a professional manner. And I thought Mike would be perfect for the role of the Killer Ranger in a film I had in mind. And then I asked him about it, and he took me down a rabbit hole that I never recovered from, because he's the one that introduced me on casting, you know, scripting, all those things that's important to make an independent film. And he's a master of organization and stuff like that. So, and my lead actor in my film. So, I guess if I hadn't talked to you that day, I'd probably still be, who knows where I'd be.
How did you get involved with film and learn all of those skills?
It was Rich. Back in, I started with the Midnight Movie. Now listen how this works. Back in 1998, when I started with the Midnight Movie, I was a co-host, and all of a sudden, you know, he used to watch the Midnight Movie, and he sent in a film to one of our producers, and we watched it. It was like, you know, we had him down on the show, okay, and then he came back the next week, and we welcomed him back the third week, and next thing you know, he says, hey, you want to be in a movie? I'm like, no. Okay, I guess, you know. I didn't realize what kind of, you know, role it was at the time.
I knew I'd find you. Mind if I play through?
What the?
4! Gee, camper, I didn't mean to tee you off, but I did yell 4, you know. Maybe I should have yelled duck. No, that would have been hunting. Oh well.
Being the coordinator that I am, I just grabbed it and went with it. I was like, okay, Rich, you want to do this? I see your passion. Let's do this. I was like, I introduced him to Ray Such, who actually did helped us do the casting, and brought in everybody in Cleveland. It was the look on his face when there was 150 people in that room wanting to be in his movie. He was just scared.
Yeah.
I won't say nervous. He was freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, your first movie, and then it feels real.
It was
right?
micro budget, you
Yeah.
know, and then once you see, you know, 100 people coming in, you're like thinking, this is going to cost a lot of money. But luckily, you know, that he taught me that there's a lot of talent out there that's waiting for an opportunity to showcase itself. And that's kind of what we hung our hat on. we had music, we had makeup effects, we had actors, we had all these things, people working behind the scenes just because they wanted the experience of doing it, you know. So that's kind of what we did. I wanted to make a film in one day, and they said it couldn't be done. So we did it, right? One long day. We made a film called Deep Dark Woods.
Yeah, the hardest part on that, I think, was the location.
Where was it located?
Luckily, my dad owned property out in Columbia Station.
Oh, okay.
So we had access to everything. It wasn't like we were trying to appease somebody who owned a property and a business and all this stuff. It was like, come here, do what you want. You know, Dad loved it. He was happy to have people around. Big piece of property.
Plus, he had a trailer.
You know, pond, an empty trailer, which
Yeah.
actually, that's it right there.
Yeah.
You know, that was just a shell of a trailer. It had everything that Rich needed. So I was like, well, let's just do it out here.
And it had the trailer, which worked out great because it turned out to be the Ranger's office. And, it actually ties the whole movie, the sequel to it. It ties them together. It's kind of like the visual you look at, and you're like, the Deep Dark Woods, at least for us, you know.
Let's go back to your first one that you were talking about. It's Transylvania Police Monster Squad.
Yeah.
What year did that finally come to fruition for you?
2000.
Okay, so that happened in 2000. When was the actual script written?
The script was more of a scenarios. I wrote scenarios because it's based on cops. So if you ever watch Cops, you know, they got live action going on with the camera. So I wanted that feel. So instead of writing the lines down, I built a scenario and then put the actors into it and just told them do what they feel the cops would do. So that's kind of how we framed that. So I want to get that loose feel and stuff. And then I was lucky enough, I'm a Ed Wood Jr. fan. So somebody introduced me to Conrad Brooks. And I'm like, oh, man, I have a chance to work with Conrad Brooks because he was in, the Ed Wood movies. So I asked Conrad if he would be the host of the thing. Mm-hmm. So he came down and we originally did 2 episodes. Well, it plays like 2 episodes of Cops, basically. So he hosted both episodes. We even have some fake commercials in there. So we wanted like you were watching TV. I don't know. I was just starting out, so I was excited, kind of.
Sure.
We're getting something made here. And the funny thing is, super, super low budget. We started selling it once we made it. We started selling it ourselves, and we made our money back in 3 days.
Oh, nice.
So that's how super low budget it was. So, I mean, it's really crazy. So if you watch it, don't expect a whole lot, but it's basically for fun. It's comedy. It's cheesy. That's why it's paired on here with the company. It's my actually only film that I have on distribution is with this company, oldies.com, Alpha, and they paired it with the Conrad Brooks directed film, the other film Conrad Brooks did. So I'm kind of happy to be paired with them because, like I said, I like to be a part of the Ed Wood Jr. universe. So now I'm forever linked with Conrad Brooks.
How do you secure police uniforms and police cars and everything else?
Guerrilla filming.
No, actually, that was their magic from the company. They created all that. None of the stuff you see in the cover there appears in the film.
Okay.
The only thing that appears in the film is this one on the back. That actually is in the film. It's when they're wrestling a werewolf. But this was, I was just as shocked as you that when I saw it, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. But who are those people?
So no police officer uniforms?
Well,
no
we have police
cop
officer
cars?
uniforms, but our not like that,
Okay.
Plus, ours are more like our uniforms are more like Ranger. Really, I guess I got a Ranger thing. You weren't there yet. This is what got you interested in me, and you're demented if that happened.
And then your second one is the Deep Dark Woods.
The Deep Dark Woods.
And when did that one finally come to fruition?
That was like 2003, I want to say.
Okay. And then we talked a little bit about the sequel. So when did that one come out?
Like 2007, I think.
Okay.
I'm trying to. It's been a while.
And this was your third movie then?
Third movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, and then you got another one here. This is the Murder Machine.
Yeah.
Is this is the fourth one?
That's the fourth one.
Okay.
It's actually the fifth one, but I have one that we don't talk about.
Wow.
It's called The Gobbler, though. It's perfect for Thanksgiving, but it was made to be a bad movie.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I can't release this because people will think that's the best I can do. So we decided I didn't release that one. So very few people have seen The Gobbler. So if you're lucky enough or not lucky enough to see The Gobbler, but we don't talk about that one too much.
I kind of want to see it though.
I know, right? As soon as I say that, people say that.
It's probably so bad it's good.
Yes, that's what we were aiming for. So bad it's good.
All right, so let's talk a little bit then about Murder Machine.
I was inspired by the true stories that I heard about some actors and play these roles in these horror films and how they're stalked and how people can't differentiate between a character and the actor. And that inspired me to come up with this idea about a former actor who starred in some of these like slasher films, popular slasher films. The situations surrounding it by being stalked and stuff like that forced him kind of leave the business. So he became a small town sheriff. And then one day out of the blue, this stranger journeys into town, massacres a whole family, and basically starts this cat and mouse game with the sheriff, which ultimately leads into a knockdown, drag out battle at the end in an old barn out in the middle of nowhere. It's a slasher, but it's also like kind of psychological. To current, that's my best one, I'd say, because so with each film that we made, we got better, even though they're low budget, micro budget, but we always aimed for high quality. So I feel like story and, don't try to cheat the audience by, cheap stuff. Do the best you can, and it'll come together. And that's what we did. We upgraded basically on each thing we did. And then being with no money, we only had one costume basically for each actor. So, and because there's a battle at the end, the classic Murder Machine is fighting the new wannabe Murder Machine, and his pants rip all the way down his leg. Well, we don't have any other pants. So what do? We paint his leg black. So, I mean, it's like that, so don't look too closely, because we didn't have the money for extra.
We painted his leg.
Yeah, we painted his leg. Like,
I love it, though.
We could do stories, right, on the behind the scenes is probably, more interesting than the film because it tells you how a low-budget independent film is.
Sure.
And all the things you run into, to get past those hurdles.
You did point out that first movie, the first one was filmed in one day.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like, okay, action, cut, good enough, move on, because we were focused on the one day thing. Murder Machine was one summer.
Yeah.
So we spent an entire summer and we stepped up the production and the quality of it and the organization of it and the actors and everything. We stepped everything up. So the first film was a test to see if we can do it, and the second film was, okay, let's do it in one summer.
We kind of like challenged ourselves with each thing that we did. Can we do it in one day? And most of the people didn't think we could,
Yeah.
but we did. So we accomplished that. And then the next one was, okay, can we expand the story? And it kind of turns from, they're quirky stories anyways. They're not just straight slasher. They're quirky because I like quirky. I like something with a twist. I don't want, here's a low budget slasher film. Bunch of people get hacked up and that's it. No, I put quirkiness in there. Little stupid things, so make you laugh, scare you a little bit, whatever. So we shot the whole thing on a high 8. And then later he told me the reason why he did that is because he didn't think I was serious enough because we're going to try to shoot something in one day. He didn't want to basically waste his Canon XL. And I was like, really? So when we did the sequel, I built in the footage kind of so you wouldn't have to see the original story, but everything was filmed with the Canon XL and better equipment. So you kind of get, okay, you don't have to see the first one because I was like, okay, that was kind of filmed on a high 8, had that look. But you got the taste, and now, boom, you got an even bigger story.
Sure.
And then Mike came back too as a ranger, so I put a lot of twists in it too. So
it's funny. You're talking about high 8 and Excels and all that. So anybody out there that's actually listening who has worked in film before are like, wow, this is an old movie because nobody uses high 8s or Excels anymore. You can film it on your iPhone nowadays.
That's what I would probably do if I do another one. I might use my iPhone.
But the quality of those videos, and they used tape, so nobody uses tape anymore.
Speaking of low budget movies, my own personal story of getting into film was very much the opposite. You filmed your movie in one day. I was working on my dad wanted to do films,
right?
And his just with his family and friends, and it's called Minnows, and it's a parody of Jaws, and it's still ongoing. I think it's on 20 years in production.
Wow.
20 years.
Not done yet?
No, it got stuck in very much technology improving limbo because he was using all of the older equipment, like one of the very original Avid programs, and then lost all of the program files, all of the data, and that happened to you.
Yeah.
That's why you got to edit
I've
fast.
yet to tell that story.
Yeah, and like,
I'm with you.
yeah, and the drive got corrupted. And so now it is my goal, but I am converting all of the mini DVs to digital so I can completely, like, full circle go and finish that movie. So that is my goal for the next couple years. See if I
That's a
can finish
challenge.
it.
See, I like that. You
Yeah.
get challenged and get it done. So yeah, I appreciate that. I can't wait to see it too. I want to see that now. God, I
Yeah,
love
technology moves so fast. You have to get
Yeah.
that editing done before your editing software
Before you can.
times
Yeah.
out and you can't use it anymore because you're
Before
like,
the license
"Oh, okay."
expires, or they decide it's like, okay, we're just not going to support this anymore. So yeah, no, I get it.
It's a monthly subscription now
Yeah.
or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I got to get this edited quick. Can't let it sit.
Right. Well, that was another reason I like teaming with him, because he was like the technical guru. I didn't know anything. You know, I was a writer, I was the actor, I can do makeup, all those things, but I have no clue when it comes to the technical thing. And so, you know, him, that's probably not the right English, but him and Rocco from our show, these guys can, like, they'll be tearing, you know, wires out and plugs and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting scared, because they know where all that stuff's used and how, you know, drives and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm scared, you know. So Mike edited, you did what, the Deep Dark Woods 2, right?
Yeah.
And you did Murder Machine.
Yeah.
I think Matt Ford, my friend Matt Ford, did a Monster Squad. And who did that? I think did Rocco do it?
I think Rocco and I think we kind of teamed up on it.
Yeah. They usually would set over their shoulders, like, you know, do this, do that. Can we do this? How did you do that? You know, but he would make my magic come together. He understood me.
When Rich actually gave me one of his scripts, I was like, I don't comprehend writing very well, you know. When I read his script, I followed it and I read it all in one sitting. So I was like, okay, I get this now. So that's another reason why I jumped on board with him with these things, because I saw his vision. So, and I know what he wanted to do, and I know what he wanted to put on, you know, on paper and then on camera. And then I was like, I can help him do this. And I think I grabbed too much, you know, but
We got it done. So I mean, that's the thing. And aligning yourself when you're doing a low budget film, aligning yourself with good, like-minded people that are bonding together for a common goal. That's so important. Even if you only have 2 or 3 people, but those are dedicated, passionate people, you can do it. It's better sometimes than having a bazillion people floating around that just, you know, they're not contributing to what you're trying to get to. And that's how, like, so we had a small, tight unit.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the film club, the ones that helped me, the ones that did my first movie, we were early members of the film club, the founders of it. And so with every film, when I would write, you know, what do you want to do? Oh, you want to act? So I would write a role for them, or you want to do makeup? Okay, I'm making sure that you're involved. And that's, you know, we kind of tailor it ourselves, because we're also showcasing what we wanted to do, because it was the whole point of it. I wanted to write and direct, so that was my showcase, and then whatever they want to do. And then we made sure that they got their promotion as well, because every little bit is just as important. You know, every item is just as important as the other element. So you can't just, you know, forget one, like you're talking about music. I didn't realize at the time when I started making it how important music is to a scene, you know.
Setting your tone.
Yeah, and, you know, I didn't look at that. I look at the writing. It's the writing. But no, you know, you can write whatever you want, but the music changes it. And so important elements. And luckily, he's more musically in tune than I was, because he helped me select a lot of the music that went in the Deep Dark Woods and into the Murder Machine. So
here's a secret. I put out a press release. They sent it to me, and I went, here you go. Choose from this.
well, I don't remember
That was it.
too good, but the music, yeah, we're pretty happy. Well, like, it's a heavy metal theme music in this one, because the guy's like modern, and he's, you know, it goes from classic Murder Machine, which you see on the cover here, classic Murder Machine. The new guy's got an upgraded outfit that he's made, because he wants to replace the Murder Machine, so he's got like a more modern stuff. So the music was, at the time, you know, the heavy metal stuff, which I'm not a heavy metal guy, but the music was awesome. And Planet Kill Switch we used.
Yeah.
Do you have any, like, secret plans or ideas to make more movies in the future, or bucket list things you want to do?
He's always got something.
Yeah,
but I told him, I says he needs to start with a short, but he doesn't like shorts.
I don't like shorts. So
He wants to tell the full story. He doesn't want to do shorts.
But it's like, you know how many movies are out there now? There's really no money to be made for the independent filmmaker. So you're doing it for a passion, which I would love to do it. People have approached me, you know, they want me to do it. But it's like, it's a lot of work, you know? So it's a lot of work gathering all those elements back together again. And in 2013, I won't keep tooting my own horn, but I think this is important. Kevin Lindenmuth, who is I would say a famous low-budget filmmaker, he contacted me and wanted to know if I wanted to write a chapter in his book about low-budget filmmaking, and I did. I forget the name of it right now, but so there's a whole chapter that I wrote in that book about my movies and, you know, about my experience of making low-budget filmmaking. So that's the things I've done with, you know, writing. Like he said, I'm always thinking. I got a million things in here, you know, but to bringing them is a lot of work to bring it to the forefront. Now, if the right time, the right place, you know, I would do it. But I like just to do my part, not be, you know, when we directed these, it was like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of people. So we did the majority of everything. And, you know, kind of like just to do one little part and have, you know, the next people do theirs. So, but that's the joy of independent filmmaking and low budget micro filmmaking.
Say that somebody wanted to get some guidance for a movie they were working on and they wanted to collaborate with you or get, you know, just have you give them some pointers or whatever. Or if they're interested in maybe working with one of your future projects that you're currently, you know, massaging into a script, how would they contact you?
The easiest way is through my Facebook, Ritch Yarber on Facebook, public page. You can contact me, or through the Midnight Movie, themidnightmovie.net. You can get hold of us. So through the TV show, you can get hold of me. And yeah, I'm always interested to talk to people or listen to people's stuff, as long as you realize there's no money.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm not a money guy, you know, so there's no money. But yeah.
And what advice would you give somebody? Like maybe they're sitting at home right now and they're listening to this, or they're driving in their car and they're like, you know what, I'm working this job, but my real passion is to do film or to work in the industry or whatever. What kind of guidance could you give them to kind of pump them up today? Especially with today's technology,
like we were saying earlier, anybody can do something with their phones. And I shoot a lot of stuff for our TV show with the phone. And Rocco's like, oh, you know, it's perfect. And I'll use the advice that was given to me many years ago by Carl Petrie, a filmmaker in New Jersey. And I was basically doing the same thing. I was talking to him about, you know, I like to be a filmmaker. He said, just do something. With whatever equipment you have, do something. Start shooting something, and it'll go from there. And he was right. If I never shot the first thing on Transylvania Police Monster Squad, I never would have met him, and then he would have never been able to drag me screaming into filmmaking, you know. But you have to take the first step. Without talking, but anybody can talk. Anybody can write something, but do something with it.
Yeah, you can talk all you want, sit at your desk all you want. I want to do this, I want to do that. No, until you get out and do it and learn what to do and what not to do, you will make mistakes. Mm-hmm. Okay, but in the process of doing it, you're gonna talk to other people that actually have done it and learn from their mistakes. Just follow. If it's your passion, just do it. You know, don't talk about it. Just get up off the couch.
And there's plenty of people, like I said, that want to showcase their talents, but don't waste their time. You know, don't be, you know, be professional. You know, when it's time to go, show up, have all the elements you need, do your best, so that when they come, they can see you're not wasting their time. Then they're going to give you their best because they want to look good.
Yeah. It's like an actor. So, you got to be ready.
Yeah. And you can't be wishy-washy. Yeah. I mean, I showed up on a set one time. I was playing a role, and there was nobody even there. And I waited for like an hour for the filmmakers to show up. And then I had to help set up the set. You know, he had to clean out a room, all the stuff like that. And all the time, you know, I was like, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to do this. You know, but it's like, you know, shouldn't have been ready, set up to go. Mm-hmm. So I know our projects were always set them up, be ready. And then once we're done, the rule was the place that we're using is going to look as good at or better than it was. We would never leave anything. And that, you know, you got to have a certain professionalism. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but get up off your seat is what I want to say. If you want in the business and you want to, just do it. You know, people aren't going to think you're the, you know, Spielberg on your first film, you know.
Yeah, take some constructive criticism. Right. Yeah, that's how it's
there
gonna
you
be.
go.
Sure.
Constructive criticism. But yeah, it's you're proud of this movie, but it may not be your cup of tea. I'm proud of it, but it's like, yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. You
I
also
saw
made
his
it
passion.
for you.
Yeah.
Or like it's your passion.
Yeah,
Like
this
your
was my
passion.
vision.
Yeah.
You didn't have this vision, so, you know. But I saw his vision, and I was like, I think between us we can actually get him going. So, and like I say, I'm a coordinator, so I helped coordinate his vision. And he kept moving, and that's where all of these come from.
What's your favorite character that you've played so far, or which movie would you say that you had the most fun making?
Well, the Ranger in general.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ranger, and everybody asked me, well, what's the movie about? And I was like, well, it's about a forest ranger who takes, if you go into the forest and you break the law, I kill you in the way that you broke the law.
Okay.
You burned down, you chopped down a tree, I chopped off your leg.
It's you! What do you want? Leave me alone! Help! Help! He's here! Help!
Help? Who do you... Oh, you want them to help you. They can't hear you. They're too busy setting up their camp. And you know how important a properly constructed camp is.
What do you want? Get out of here! Leave me alone! What's the matter with you?
I'm just happy to have you in my little forest again, camper. Do you remember the last time you visited my little forest? I had to teach your friends all about the proper camping and respect for the woods. They were quick learners. As a matter of fact, none of them ever made the same mistake again. Or any mistake for that matter.
So it's instant gratification. It's karma. It's coming towards
instant karma right after you.
Yeah, you treat nature bad, you're going to get it.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I'm a forest ranger. This is my forest. You just
That's how
disrespected
the
me.
first
And
one kind of, they were based on like public service announcements.
Uh-huh.
So whenever somebody would break the law of the woods, something would happen to them, and then the ranger would give a public service announcement basically when it happened. In the second one, I transitioned away from that. It was more of just, I would say, like a fantasy things that would happen, like crazy things would happen, and at the end you understand why. But it was like you were doing surreal things. You weren't. As a matter of fact, the character even says he just wants to have fun now. So in the second one, he's not worried about the law of the woods or whatever. He's just having fun. So some crazy stuff happens, and it's like a twist ending, and I won't give it away, but.
Yeah.
And that one's available out there. You can watch
The
it
Deep
somewhere?
Dark Woods is not available right now. I'm trying to get some made of these because, like I said, I kind of spun everything into this one because I had better equipment and everything. But now people are wanting to see the original, so I'm trying to get some new copies of it made. So coming out soon, the new. See, like you said, if I open this book, there's nothing in there.
Had to give away the DVD.
I was literally down to not having any of these left because I didn't think there was an interest, but now there's an interest. So now I got to get some made for people.
So there's no place to go online to be able to watch your movies at this time?
No, you'll just have to
You
contact
have to get a hard
me.
copy.
Yep.
Okay, so go to your Facebook page, contact you, then get your hard copy, your DVD, your VHS, your Super 8, your
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever. I draw you a picture, whatever you want.
I know
Old
some
film
people
reels.
who might call you, though.
Old film reels. You're getting them from Ritch, and you can watch that movie projected on your wall in your living room on a Saturday night.
That would
Some
be
popcorn.
nice. I like that. We can watch minnows too. Do that.
Yes, eventually.
I better
will.
get invited to see. I want to see that.
Oh, yeah, a screening eventually,
Yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny when you're talking about the Microfilm Fest, I was like, in minnows.
Yeah, man.
There you go. That
That's
is
going to be the big
micro.
headline.
Yeah, we could work well together because we got the same. And your dad sounds like
Yeah.
my type of dad.
Collaboration coming
Yep.
your way.
Yep.
Minnows in the woods.
Yep. Oh, the deep dark minnow.
There you go. Well, you can spin it however you want. It'll work.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. I always find it so fun to talk about indie, low-budget films. You can just really tell so much passion and energy and just the love of filmmaking. So it's always my favorite. So thank you for watching, too. We hope you had a good time.